my neighbours, good citizens all, I thank you for coming and heeding the call. Let's rally the people and bring them all near. Sing out our songs for the whole world to hear. This is the cradle of all that we are. This is the heart of the storm. This is the ground where the future was born. This here is Anvil and this is our home. Each song that we sing and each story we tell, each hero we name and each life that we sell, each breath and each beat of your heart is a beat of the drum. Give me drink in my cup and friends who will share it, song on my lips and ears that'll hear it, fire in my eyes to light all the good people I see. I tell you, my friends, there's nowhere that I'd rather be. Before 10 in the morning, we're barely alive. We're like ghosts, we're like spirits, and then coffee arrives. Then heroes awaken and stand by your side. Now gather your courage and sing out your pride. For the storm will not break us, although it may try. The sun may be down and may bake the world dry, but we stand by our neighbours and raise them up tall. Gather your voices and scream out the call. For you are my empire and you are my hall. For you I would fight and for you I would fall. For you are the beat of my heart and the heart of my song. Give me drink in my cup and friends who will share it, song on my lips and ears that'll hear it, fire in my eyes to light all the good people I see. I tell you, my friends, there's nowhere that I'd rather be. So fill up your tankards and fill up your lungs. Leave no words unspoken and no song unsung. Make noise for your heroes, your kith and your kin. Sing out their names and the pride that they bring. Together we stand and divided we fall. And the future we write will be shaped by us all. For we are the singers and we are the song.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to this one, this stream, and this one over there to that side. I need to check my audio. Okay, my audio seems alright. It's actually doing it. So Streamlabs has done a massive update again, and it hasn't got rid of all my settings. They might have fixed it. So the proof will be when Chris starts talking, and if we can't hear him. It's a blessing and a curse. So
yeah, definitely a blessing and a curse.
Oh, we can hear you. This is good.
Winning.
Pete.
I mean, suckers. I mean, hi.
And Pete sub. That's 15 months for Pete.
Pete, get a life.
Yeah, he can be heard. And we got John, 13 months. Liam, 20 months. Jesus, so many long people.
9 months, I think.
You'll have limited time to... Oh, we've got a hype train going. Oh, excellent stuff already. So, good news, everybody. Good news, everybody. We have had the pouches turn up. It is in a massive box. The box is huge. It's absolutely massive, and there's millions in there. There's absolutely millions in there. I reckon there's at least 60 in there, maybe more. Tim's also done loads of little leather-bound books as well. The smell is incredible when you open up that box. Thank you for the bits there. That's awesome. Thank you. Hype! Yeah, so there's loads of these. So at the new player meeting, the very first one in 2 years, I will be giving out, it'll be a first come first served. They will get a little potion pouch and a little leather bound book with a Darkblade card inside it as well. So Tim has been absolutely legendary with this, so The first one is in 2 years. The first one in 2 years, I should have said. Thank you, Talis. Yeah, so it's been amazing. It's been a long haul, but we've finally got there. And when the good stuff runs out, we can start giving out your crappy pouches. Wow, I didn't want to say anything, but yes, Beth, we can. Have you tipped the pouches on the bed yet and rolled around on them? I cannot confirm nor deny this. I'm going to get very Tory in my responses here. But it wasn't me. Other people were doing it, and I wasn't sure of the rules. Is that too much?
That generally hurts my soul.
It
that
does.
Hurts.
God. Owner's Empire crew will need to do multiple new meets. I'm not sure how big the tent is. Didn't Matt P say that? An estimate of about 500 new players. Yeah, estimated 500.
540, I think, was a figure I saw.
540.
Yeah.
Jesus, it's insane. It's insane. But yeah, we'll be there. First come, first serve. We'll give away as many as we can. We'll give away everything we've got, and then that's it. It's going to be crazy. So cheers, Alfie, for the bits. It all helps. We've got the filming prepped. We've got permission. We've got everything sorted. So the Extreme Makeover. I'm starting to make the thumbnail. If you're a Patreon or involved, you've seen it. Fuck me. It's... Hey, Jazz, thank you. Yeah. Is it bad that whatever I'm making is making me laugh? Don't say 10 days. That's nearly single digits. Yep. Panic. Who's panicking? Not me. Definitely not me. Yes, you are, Liam. Yep, you are. I don't know what time you're planning on getting there on the Thursday. Just let me know. But yeah, it's finally here. Nobody's ready yet.
I'll pack Thursday. Friday.
I've got that box done. I've got another box of stuff. So like, it's got some leather armor in it that Bethany's partner's buying. I've got a couple of cloaks in it that are going to other people. Let's check it. Everyone's panicking. Everyone is panicking. No one knows what the fuck we are doing right now. Has been 2.5 years. Yeah, I know. We've had so long to prepare for this, and no one's ready. No one is ready at all. Yeah, so I've got that. I will say as well, I've still got some stuff left from Epic Armory that I want shot of. I want it gone, basically. So if people want anything, I don't care how much you pay for it. I really don't care. I just want it gone. So I'll put them up. But yeah, I don't even want a sensible price. Give me a stupid price.
1 penny.
Yours. You can have the dress. I've got 2 dresses. I've got a Harry Potter, not using that name. £2.50, I'll take it all. No. I've got 2 dresses. I've got like a wizarding cloak that would be good for that manor thing that does the School of Wizardry. I've got a couple of tabards, and I've got a I'm right now making the Lamela needed to crew the Saturday. Players are not the only last minuters. Wow. Yeah, there's a lot of so much of this sort of stuff. Took some photos of it. But yeah, I just need this stuff gone now. So we've got a Altair dark brown vest in a small and to medium. A dress, Isabel green, so 2XL. Basic tabard, off-white, large to extra large. A cape in azure green, one size fits all. another cape in black, one size fits all, and then there's a picture of my mate Josh. Just, I haven't seen him in ages, and I thought I'd embarrass him there because he looks like a person I found on the streets. So yeah, these are things. Hi Baz. But yeah, so much stuff. Yeah. So I've got 2 boxes done. Choco Moco Latte. Bozette. How is everybody doing? How is chat this evening? Are we all good? Oh, Ryan sub for 11 months. It's nearly the year. Found one sizes frequently fits no one. Well, people can take stuff and play around with it, break it, use it for other things. I don't mind. It's up to you. Alfie gifted a sub, tier 1 sub to Jasmine. That's amazing. Thank you so much. Yeah, so I'm going to have 2 big cardboard boxes, and I'm going to have 2 large plastic boxes that's full of stuff. I'm not bringing half this stuff back with me. Just came back from a LARP this weekend. Did a lot of fucking about, now thoroughly in the find out stage. I like that. That should be the way they describe going to LARP. I fucked about for a weekend and now I'm finding out. Right. So, getting mega hyped, been listening to Empire songs on SoundCloud. Apothecary's Guild is exploding in interest. Good. I'm glad. Fabulous year. It's been, can't believe we'll be in the field in shortly. Yeah. So this might be my penultimate stream until E1, until after E1. So got this one. I might be streaming on Friday. I might not be. We might be going away to see family for Easter. Then if we're not, I figured we'd do like a Gartic phone or something like that on Friday and just muck about and have a giggle. Then on Monday, I've got Hurst Hall coming on to do a "This is what we're planning" stream. So, binged a load of old streams on SoundCloud for the last 2 days while Manic Crafting happened. Yeah, it's going to be nice to see everybody in the field, that's for sure. So, what about you, Chris? Are you looking forward to being back in the field?
Yes, cautiously, yes.
Cautiously, yes.
I mean, I managed to get some LARPs this year, and I went to a big one last year when LT ran. So it's not quite as weird to be in a field for me as it will be for everyone else, I think. But like, Empire's so different. It's like to any other LARP I do, it's going to be like, cool, I'm here, okay. Now I've got to roleplay all the talk I've given down on the Discord.
Yes, I know, right? It's going to be bizarre.
People are going to come up to me and think I know things, and I don't have the wiki to just quickly look at and go, yes, this is the answer. I'll have to, like, roleplay.
Yeah, people are going to come up to me and go, we want to roleplay with Mac. But it's just like, yeah, well, Mac's been murdered in, like, the first 3 minutes. He's dead.
People are going to find my card and go, so when did you see Brat? Well, he was over there. No, he was over there. No, he's over there. No, he's in that ditch over there.
It's going to be great. The hype really is real. I find myself keep checking my list to make sure I have everything checked off. Yeah. I've just finished the shawl that I've been working on for the past few weeks, though I wouldn't get it finished in time for LARP. I've got the shawl, shirt and trousers for my kit, and that's it so far. You've done... I think you seem to have done more than a lot of people, than a lot of us. I've packed my big pack with all my IC kit, and I need to get another little bag going for all my OC bits and bobs, and then then that's me done, really. I think that's me completely sorted.
A box over there, it's still not unpacked from the last event I went to.
Yeah, I did just buy, actually, some snoods for masks, because these are 2 layers. They have the little pocket thing in them, and filter, yeah. So I can put so I can have the filter in them as well. So it will be essentially 4 layers with a filter in them too.
Well, that's what I got Rosemary to make me. I literally have it's a snood type thing, which I was like, oh, I'm not too sure about the fabric, is that going to be thick enough? And then it says, we'll attach a filter in. So Rosemary put a filter in and boofed up some of the fabric around the mouth, and that's basically the same. Hooks over my ears, so I don't have to worry.
Mine will go completely around my big head. So, because I find that when I put the ones with the ear loops on, they just pull my ears forward. So, yeah, I don't want to look like Pob. Do you remember Pob?
Yeah.
Pob was awesome. If you don't know what Pob is, Pob the Puppet, children's TV, go YouTube it and be terrified of what my childhood was. Clean
trapdoor.
Sorry?
I'm just saying trapdoor.
Trapdoor was amazing. Absolutely amazing. Clean tent pegs yesterday. Does that count? Yes. Yes, it does. So, I will say this because we're here to talk about my. It's not Wayland Yutani. This is Nos. There you go. See, that's what it is. And yes, it is amazing. I love it. I did have an alien mug, but someone who shall remain a nameless Helen broke it. Big head, too much brains, obviously. No. I'd like to think so, but no. Thank you, though. Spitting all over the camera and wiping it off. Good old Pob. Yeah, it was amazing. But yeah, so we're here to talk about camping. And we're going to do a lot of it because Chris has done a hell of a lot of camping for LARP, especially in his time. I've done a lot of camping, not necessarily at LARP, in my time. And we've both experienced the highs and the lows of camping at Empire as well. There'll be a few people in chat as well who will have experienced this too. I would always... Jesus, loads of it. 71 bits. Oh. Betty White. Living legend. Who the fuck is Pob? Baz, you got to go and YouTube it, mate. YouTube Pob Children's TV and then be horrified. Is an 8-man teepee tent too much for an ogre-sized me? I don't know how to... An 8-man teepee tent, that's massive, isn't it? That's going to be huge.
That's basically 5 meters or more.
Yeah. That's insane.
Yeah. I'll give you a serious thing. Yes. The answer is yes, unless depending on what you're going to use it for. And if you can cement it to a smaller size inside to retain warmth.
Yeah, it will get cold in there.
I've been in a 5-meter tent on my own, and that was chilly.
I've been in a Touareg on my own, and that was cold. How do you make a teepee out of 8 men? That's a good question. That'll be one to be answered later. In Hefty Yeti After Dark.
Instructions with Yeti and a goblin.
Mainly I'm using it because I'm tall. So how tall are you, Liam? I must admit, mate, I've had you. I thought you were like 5'6". I don't know why. You have to remove that. Oh my god. Yeah. 2+. One LARPer is 2 people in a tent. 5'11". Oh, so you're my height then. But an 8-man, that'll be big. I'd say just make sure you're... Wow. Cheers, Pete. Dragging it down. I approve. Yeah, an 8-man tent. That's going to be quite difficult to heat. Surely, but I suppose if everything is low on the outside and you're sort of kept tucked into the side, then the heat will be right with you. Then it just goes on up. But obviously, don't put any like flames or anything like that inside the tent because that'll be a bad time for you and everyone around you.
Lighters aren't scissors.
No, they're not. Lighters really are not scissors. I will be bringing scissors with me. I think people will have knives, scissors, and that. So we can fit 3 LARPers and Kit in our 8-man OC tent. Yeah.
Well, that's because each LARPer is 2 people plus Kit.
Yes. Yeah, that's exactly what John has said. One LARPer equals 2 people. Try being 7 foot tall with horns in a tent. This is true. Gonna have plenty of room, but you're gonna be cold. What's the ground like in the woods when pitching a tent? Well, PD have actually just done a shitload of work on all the drainage. They've been putting in pipes. They had what's the best way to describe it? There was a pile of wood chip there that was taller than me, and probably longer than 2 forges put next to each other. The taverns. It was huge. They're planning on putting wood chip down on all of the main roads there. The ground itself, like in the woods, it was nice and soft. All I'd say is bring a rake or something like that. Because we've done all the clearance, especially if you're in a part that's been cleared, now you're going to want to make sure you're not putting your tent on stones, stumps, anything like that. So be prepared to clear away your little bit. So
I think that's just like not even in the woods. Like that field is it's still an active farm when we're not around. The sheep and all that lot go into that field when it's not being used by PD. And any LARP site, any area in camping generally, check the ground.
Yeah.
Because the last thing you want is a stone under your tarp, under your tent, which you then lay on, step on, put stuff off, and then you've got a hole in the bottom of your tent. And water likes holes in tents.
Yes, there's a lot of it's going to be pretty bad. I mean, Wintermark has become Mole Mark at the moment. There are so many molehills and holes and stuff like that. So if you're walking through Wintermark, really watch the ground. So that's a tough one as well. Hey Steve, I'm a little bit late. What have I missed? Not too much, to be honest, Smithy. We're just chilling, chatting, talking about ground at the moment and warmth. So what are some actual safe and reasonable options for tent heating? Currently planning on a hot water bottle. Yeah, a hot water bottle will be perfect. But what's these warmers that you can get as well? But I've been told by people that if you get like hand warmers, they can melt the sleeping bag.
So I think it depends. What hand warmers you've got, the more pressure you put on them, the hotter they will get. So if you really push them together, they can. Right. It depends on the make. The ones we get from Tesco's when they go on discount after winter, you get them for like 50p each. We buy a box of 100. That does us for the season. Long as there's no hypothermia. And we literally just get 1 or 2. We throw them to the very bottom. Now I'm a short ass, so my feet rarely actually put that much pressure towards the end. And yeah, you have warm feet, which is extremities. First thing that's going to get cold. Again, depends how good your sleeping bag is.
Yeah.
Hot water bottle. Remember, it's warm, brilliantly warm, up until it's not, and then it's just going to be a heat drain on you.
Yeah.
So probably just if you use it to warm up your sleeping bag, warm yourself up,
and then get rid of it.
Then get rid of it.
Yeah.
Equally, so some clothes or whatever into the bottom of your sleeping bag, make an extra little padded layer. If they're dirty clothes, you can throw them at the bottom.
Yeah, that's a good shout.
And you've got the millions idea of blankets and layers, insulating yourself. You've got your tent floor. Don't sleep on that. Put a roll mat down. put padding down, anything, you can raise yourself off it.
Mm.
Either with a camp bed, or if you are one of the people who camp beds are not designed for, i.e. you've got broad hips or anything like that, an airbed. Just get yourself off the floor.
Mm.
And the trick I was told ages ago was, wait, you put blankets on you, you got that heaviness that
Mm.
actually can make you feel warmer. Very knowledgeable lady from a different LARP system literally told me once that when her kids were feeling cold, she just got a load of coils of rope and just put the coils of rope over them because weight helps you feel a bit warmer. Certainly, I've tried it out with blankets. So that
Yeah,
not,
I say don't bring tons of rope with you to
no,
Empire,
get
unless you're
blankets,
using
but
it for something.
yeah, put blankets on and stuff like that, and then you can get internal heatings for tents. You got obviously your braziers and stuff like that. Depends on how big your tent is, style of your tent. If it's a big canvas tent,
Mm.
the risk you have with gas heaters and all that lot is the fumes they can let off with the
Yeah,
carbon monoxide.
yeah,
So some people do use those, but they have a sensor just to keep them safe.
yeah.
Again, warm the tent up, turn it all off before you actually go to sleep.
Mm. Yeah, that's a definite. I mean, I have I put like a couple of blankets down on the floor, then I put my airbed on top of those, and then I'll have a sleeping bag that's been unfolded, and then I'll have a duvet on top of it, and then I'll have like, well, whatever other blankets I bring with me, really. And then I sleep quite cozy, but I'm a furnace. So as we discovered on this other stream that if you put me and Pete in the same bed, we will start a fire. So, but yeah, there's something like that. Some tents you can get stoves for them, but you need the funnel going outside as well. So this Hurstal's 7 meter bell tent that we have, that will be lit. That will be going. If you are freezing cold of an evening and you need a place just to warm up a little bit, then I'm fairly certain that we are not going to turn people away if they're just coming in to sit down and have like 5 minute warm up and stuff like that. I have a kettle. We've got another hall next to us who has made it very, very clear that he is bringing a kettle as well, big enough for everybody. So I think Bethany is very excited by this, and I think James went out and bought it especially, to be honest, because I think there's going to be a nice communal bit around Hurst Hall. So yeah, warmth is a big thing. Unbiblical there is with the most sensible of sensibleness. Alcohol is not a substitute for warmth. Alcohol, yes, is fun while you're around a fire and you're chilling and you're chatting to people when you're doing it to sensible levels. When you leave that fire, you will not feel the cold, but when you get into bed and you don't feel the cold and you fall asleep, you can get hypothermia because your body is still freezing. You may not feel cold, but your body is still freezing from because of the alcohol, just sort of numbing it all.
Give you an example of that in probably early years of PD. Wasn't me. It was a friend who were nameless. They got very drunk. They got so drunk that they just basically went into our group tent, fell asleep. They put a thin blanket over themselves, still wearing all their clothes, which were soaking wet. They thought they were fine. They woke up. We spent the next 3 hours trying to massage warmth back into their limbs. They were still drunk, which didn't help. So they were just so cold, and it basically took till timing on the Friday for them to warm up. So
Yeah,
that's another thing. If you're going into your tent and you're going to go to bed, remove all your wet clothes. Don't sleep in wet socks. They might feel warm to you,
Yeah.
And putting on new clothes will feel cold, but that's just surface temperature.
Yeah.
That's not your core temperature, and your core temperature is the most important thing. Your core temperature only needs to go down by a couple of degrees, and then you're in trouble.
Mm.
You can be shivering, pale, and blue. As long as your core temperature is fine, you're going to live.
Yeah.
To be really horribly blunt.
So, I mean, it's
Um,
not as if you're medically trained or anything, Chris, so you don't know this stuff.
no. I'm reading off a survival guide, actually. No, yeah. This, as well as, we run a system called Features End, which is fun now. And my brother was our chief head first aider, and we ran into some generally snow events. And we got together a guide, how-to guide of staying warm. And it's actually on the Discord. It's in the camping
Nice.
on the pins. I think someone pinned it for me ages ago. And he got that information from the first aid team at LT, who have got, well, one person alone has 25 years experience in LARP first aid. We've got bushcraft survival experts who also contributed to it, and a few other people with just general experience. So it's up on the Discord, the pinned section on camping. That's what we've learned, and it covers a lot.
Yeah.
Quite good. Been told it's quite good. So I'm sure someone will disagree with points in it, but that's the nature of survival. People, they like to bicker more than LARPers.
Yeah. It's a lot of it is just be sensible. If you are, like, I keep on saying this, I've said this in a lot of streams now, if you are struggling for any reason, in any way, shape or form, tell people, go to God, go to first aid, go to another hall that's nearby and ask and just say, look, all my clothes are wet through, my tent has flooded. We'll come to that one. We'll come back to this one. My tent has flooded, and I'm really struggling for help, and I need something. Then there will be people around who will help you. I mean, PD have been known to put people up in other tents and supply them with stuff. And I mean, even if it is just like the Hall of Worlds or something that they're in with a sleeping bag, blankets, airbed, camp bed, something, they are somewhere relatively warm and dry, and then they can get everything sorted. So, I mean, it's even like people have been able to get all their clothes dried out and stuff like that. So, but everybody helps. I mean, I've been stood in a tent. Me and Alec, who's been on stream before, we're talking about the militia. We were stood in a brass coast tent with our arms up in the air, holding onto the roof of a tent because there was a family in there with a newborn, and the water was just, I don't know if you remember that event where it was just draining. It was just so heavy. And we were just holding up this roof until it stopped raining, and then they could safely get up to God. And we were just stood in there. It was weird because it was really sunny, and then all of a sudden this rain just came out of nowhere, and it was absolutely torrential, and it was like that for hours. It was bad.
Yeah.
So, good core workout though.
I mean, the best workout for holding tents up was an Odyssey event. Right at the very end of the event, we knew the storm was coming. It was one of the named ones. And if you know has anyone seen the monster tent? That was used at Odyssey as a combined guard, monster crew, everything tent.
Yeah.
And the wind came, and we heard in Persia. We were the closest nation. We heard a cry of help. And then we looked, and this whole tent starting to lift up off the ground. And the crew are desperately holding onto it. So everyone in Persia runs over. Everyone, and as someone said who was on the opposite side of the field, it's time out. Why is everyone running? That's when you knew it was serious. The entire field ran to this tent. We were smaller than that system, smaller than I think the crew for Empire, but there were hundreds of people, and we just jumped on this tent, and it trenched down us. And at one point, my sister at the time, who was pregnant, so couldn't help, just had to watch as everyone she knew got lifted off the ground. And we're not small people, some of us.
No.
And there were lots of us, and people cleared the inside up. We were pulling it down, people frantically pegging it down. And as soon as we cleared the tent from the inside, got it all pegged down, the rain stopped. And we were like,
Yeah, it's about the way of it. Always the way of it. But
Well,
yeah,
exercise
I was just saying, everybody helps. I don't think if you went to people and if they had nothing that they could help you with, they wouldn't turn around and just say no. They'd be like, look, I can't help, but I know if you go along to this group or something like that, they might be able to help you out or stuff like that. So, like, Artisans Arms in Wintermark is probably a good place to go because it's a nice central hub for everybody. The Egregores, any of the bigger camps, I'd say, in any of the nations, or if you see experienced people walking around, like even in the Hefty fam, if you're struggling that bad, and you see Chris, you see myself, Rosemary, Daisy, people like us, then I'm certain that we'd be able to say, yeah, look, need to go to God with this. There's nothing I can do or something like that, but it's help. Still. So yeah, Rip Ground Sheet, not big, not clever, definitely not. People not an option. 2-man tent boyfriend isn't coming this time. Right? Slippers, yeah, slippers are good. You lose a lot of your warmth through your feet. So slippers or nice, thick, clean, dry socks. So at the end of an evening, put on a clean pair of socks. Fucking socks again. Fucking socks. It's always fucking socks everywhere. Bloody
socks.
I'm sick of the little bastards. Yeah, but
Chat.
it makes sense that but drug. Oh yeah. It makes sense though. It's just at the end of the day, if your feet are wet, then take the socks off, dry your feet, and then boom. Oh, that tip glass just exploded everywhere. Thanks, Alfie. Yeah, if you've got wet socks on, take them off, dry your feet, put on clean pair of socks before you get into bed, because otherwise you've just made your bed wet and muddy, and that's just not fun for anybody involved.
No Crocs. No Crocs.
Yeah, no Crocs. No Crocs.
That's just life advice, just no Crocs.
Yeah,
Not camping related.
I think, like, in the middle of the night where it's been raining and I've been desperate for the toilet, I have walked to the toilet in bare feet. I will never do this again. Never do this again. So people, I want you to learn from my mistakes here. I'm going to say this very simply. A gent's toilet, bare feet. That's all I'm going to say. Learn from my mistakes. Never go to the toilet bare feet.
I'll also point out that for people who want to walk around barefoot, you're in a field. There's trees, there's branches and stuff, and even the pathways that people are going to lay down, that sharp bits of bark, there might be broken glass in them. Just generally, don't walk around. I was walking, well, I thought over a lovely grassy bit one event, and then I felt a stab in my foot. It was someone's brooch, and the length of the pin was that, and it went through all my boots, just hit my foot, my bare flesh, and as I pulled up, it put a lovely hole right through my boots, and that was steel toe caps.
Ouch.
So they were my big walking boots, and this brooch pin just went straight through.
Yeah, it's always about being sensible. I think I've said it before about grabbing a pair of footwear that you can just throw on really, really quickly. So I used to have a pair of old slip-on trainers where there was actually no laces on them whatsoever. They were full of holes and they were covered in crap. They should have been thrown away, but they became my Empire toilet trainers in the end. So I could just put them on really easily.
I've got a pair of sandals. They work for that. They look icy enough, so I have walked around the events with them on. Some people have been to winter events, saw me standing around in them, even in the cold, because I'm a nutter. But yeah,
Corvus has
just
asked.
something.
Go on.
No,
Corvus has asked, what is the tent density like? I don't know if you're talking about the thickness of the canvas, or how many tents are in certain areas.
so
Canvas for tents is always fine. It's generally waterproof. Tents just need washing, cleaning, and re-waterproofing every now and again. As for tents in an area, fuck me, there's loads. Bring a torch.
there's a reason they put paths out. They actually map the paths out because if you want to forge your own route, you're gonna fall over or you're gonna take someone's tent down. Try and stick to the pathways. There's gonna be less guide ropes. I say less. Not gonna say none. But yeah, you're gonna go into Wintermark. You've got your central area. That's going to be basically clear by design. You're going to have a central area in each camp that's going to be clear by design.
Yeah.
And then a few other paths. But then beyond that, the tents are going to be close, that they're probably going to overlap each other's guides.
Yeah.
That's just because there's so many people. It was like that at E1 year one, let alone now.
There was an incident. Well, I say an incident. It restored your faith in humanity. It was in Wintermark, and there was a load of tents. All so when you come into Wintermark from the Navarre Woods, it goes around to the left, and there's toilets on your toilet block on your left, and then you've got another path that goes off to the Moot Square and up towards Artisans' Arms and Loomies, and it goes all the way around to Dawn. This bit up the top here is packed with tents. And I have seen some people walking along. There is someone stood on the other side, because when you look at these people, all the guys are sort of, the ropes are all like this. And you're looking at it, and it's like running an old Crystal Maze challenge. And there was a young girl on the other side of it looking really upset, saying that she has been trying to find the path out of this little enclave that she was in. And she's just like, she was saying to people, I really need the toilet. So there's like 7 of us wandered over, and we all picked up a guy holding it so it's still tight, and we cleared a path for it to come walking through, and then we all put him back in, and then we kept on going. But they are, especially if you've been drinking, don't attempt the guy rope challenge, because you will end up on your face or on your ass, and maybe on someone's very expensive tent.
Or on someone.
Yeah, that too.
Who's not going to be pleased.
No. Especially if you've ripped it, done all that sort of stuff, and at the end of the day, you will be liable for damages. It's simple. So yeah, it's just be sensible with that. Walk around. It's really easy to tell where the little paths are, because they're quite well trodden. So
look for the mud. If it feels squelching, you're on the path. Yeah. If it feels like there's grass underneath your feet, you're off the path.
You are off the path.
And if you trip over something, you're in a tent.
Yeah, if you trip over someone, leave. Sleeping bag liners are good. Yeah, very good. Good idea for tent density is the Wintermark camp plan. I think Chris has gone running to the toilet. Thermals is good. Also, put your underwear for the next day in your sleeping bag. You'll be thankful in the morning. I have heard people do this. Practical question. Washing up facilities and taking stuff to wash up IC. So, there are taps around the site. They're good for drinking water as well. You see people with literally a little basin. They will go walking up to it with some washing up liquid, and they will just fill it up a bit, wash it, and wash all their stuff next to it, and then they're done. And they'll rinse it all out, and then they'll go. So yeah, that happens there.
The only thing with the pipes is water pressure. We are a long way away from the mains.
Yeah.
By the top of the field, so Navarre, is it League and Marchers?
Yeah.
And Imperial Orcs. The water pressure's good. You get to lower into the field, by the Brass Coast and that lot. It's a lot less, so
Yeah,
it's one of those. It's why the PD's toilets and all that use massive water containers rather than the
yeah.
actual standpipes. But equally, in terms of washing up, the PD loos should, in theory, have hot water. Doesn't always.
No, not from my experience.
Sometimes.
Not from my experience.
I've had it briefly, so it was a novelty.
Yeah,
Um, but yeah,
yeah.
higher
I
the
think
field you go, the
just
better the water pressure.
fill fill up your fill up a little basin with some water, and then do that, and you're fine.
I mean,
Boil a kettle, do it all. Yeah, go and get a water carrier, and then do it all by your camp. That's
yeah,
good too.
you'll see people with big basins holding things for water. Could be plastic. No one
Mm.
cares. Just get a blanket or a little bit of cloth, drape over it if you're really
Well,
self-conscious about it.
to be honest, I don't think anybody would say anything if you were carrying a little, like, a red tub with full of stuff to go and wash it up. I don't think anybody would say anything. I know I wouldn't. I know I wouldn't. It's basic hygiene and cleanliness and stuff like that at the end of the day, isn't it? Especially with COVID. So it's a case of, yes, just be sensible people. Going to sleep with a gas heater running is Talis, nail on the head right there. Yeah, don't do that. That's dumb. Aspirin, hello. Hello. I find layers under is warmer than over the top. Yep, so the thermals thing is good. I wear a thermal vest. I have to wear... I don't care. I have got special underwear that I have to wear at the moment. Because it hurts my rather insanely large testicle if it's not supported. So I have to wear rather tight. It's like cycle shorts really to hold it up. So yeah, I have to wear that. I am looking at I'm looking at getting a cup as well. Don't know if they'll be big enough though. You know what I'm saying? You know.
I mean, cups. I mean, if you're going to be helping out in the academy fighting LARP kids, the cups are must because little kids, they will smack you in the groin.
Oh yeah.
That's just the phrase LARPers can fight you. LARPer kids will kill you. Comes from basically that.
Yeah. If you find you're still cold and camping with a friend, just ask to snuggle. Yeah, that works. I'd do it anyway. I mean, Kit has been known to wake up and think I'm his wife, and then he realizes there's a beard tickling his neck. It has happened. I mean, like I've said before, there's photographic evidence of me and Kit sharing a bed. I think we sent it off to his wife first. All in jest, obviously. Get your sleeping bag out when you put your tent up. It allows it to loft up. Don't leave it till just before you sleep. Yeah, definitely. I recommend when you get to site. So when me and Dan get to site on the Thursday, the first thing that we will do will be my tent out, and we'll get that up straight away. And then it will be all of my stuff in there. And then it will be my airbed will be put up. All of my bed will be made immediately. So it's there and it's done. And it means I'm not worrying about it. Because I know that I'll get distracted. And then at 11 o'clock at night on the Thursday, I'll be thinking, shit, I've got nowhere to sleep tonight. Get it done. Get all your stuff done and out of the way. Get everything sorted out however you want it. And then you are sorted. So... that's just big and clever. Yeah, so don't leave that. Make sure that you've got your stuff sorted. Jeez, loads of people in chat. Hello.
I don't know why.
Sorry?
We're not talking about anything interesting. So.
No, we're not. I mean, we are boring people at the end of the day. Hi, Dave. Hope you're good. Kettle tea. Oh yeah, I'm so far behind in chat again. Sleeping bags rely on your body heat to get warm, so if you are very cold, do a couple of jumping jacks to warm up before getting your sleeping bag. Someone who learned that alcohol is a substitute water the hard way, yeah, don't do that. Temp will likely be cold in the morning, it's just hard to avoid it. A nice warm beverage in the morning helps. So, I am a morning person. Have been a morning person, and I don't get hangovers. I've never had a hangover in my life. Well, I've had one hangover in my life, and that was when I was 14. And that was when my brother got me a little bit drunk, and we played some old Formula 1 on the PlayStation, and we had Budweiser, cider, and pizza. That was a bad night for everybody involved, especially his wife, because she came down and cleaned up after us because we were both worse for wear. It was bad. It was an absolute mess. It was horrible, and I've never had a hangover since, so I'm lucky.
I echo Dave on this. To be honest, Steve.
I haven't. Are you that far ahead in chat? See, I'm so far behind.
When you get there, there's a wonderful message from Dave there for you, Steve, just about your hangovers.
Oh yeah, I see it. Fuck you, Steve. So yeah, but it does mean, though, that every morning I'm always the first up, and I've generally got so for Hurst Hall, I've been first up. I've got the fire pit going. We've got charcoals going already. The frying pan's on it. The bacon is cooking. And I'm sat there and people are waking up going, oh, what are we doing? What's going on then? And it's all like, I have no idea. I don't know what we're doing here today. Bacon sandwich, cup of tea, cup of coffee. And we have all of that. And it's just going and it's nice.
I wake up to hear Josh, a lot of the military Thorn type people shouting, Navarre, by the gate, Navarre, assemble. And I go, oh yeah, battlefield, cool. And then that's when I wake up, and because usually my tent might move now, was right outside the Navarre gate, directly opposite it. And so there, I wake up, everyone's gathering, and I go, oh, weapons check, like throw in a shirt, put some trousers on, weapons check, wander to the gate. Weapon check, then go get breakfast. I am not a morning person. I'm the complete opposite.
Hurst Hall, we did a rather heavy night, and out of all of us and like hangers on and stuff, I say hangers on, other people, Hurst Hall affiliated as well. So there should have been like 12 of us going off into this battle. There were 3. We came back from the battle. None of them were up still. We went off, had some lunch, came back, and 2 of them were sat around the fire, getting it, like trying to make themselves some bacon sandwiches. That was it. This was like 2:00 in the afternoon when people slowly started to surface, and that. So it was. Some people get quite messy, but yeah. Socks, and for once not being silly, clean fresh socks to wear in bed is a wonderful thing for keeping warm. Yes. See, me and Talis on the same mind here. 2 pairs a day, one for day, second for sleep, change morning and evening, spare socks for any that get wet. Yeah, exactly my philosophy. Hopefully you don't get that weather at E1.
I'm a bit different on that.
Sorry?
I'm a bit different. I mean, I just wear clothes. I just basically get down to my underwear and use my sleeping bag, but that's its design more than anything else. And I'm a radiator, so
yeah. I mean, I have. It's. Oh god, I've just read one message there. Yeah, I mean, I have had like people come into like just unzip my tent and that because they've got some of their stuff in there, and I've had to like stop them because I'm getting out of my bed, and yeah, I don't want them to see me completely stark bollock naked. I mean, no one needs to see that ever. So it's just not a sight. I mean,
I have no shame. So
if you have a genuine OC problem, no member of the Empire crew is going to turn you away, even late. There are enough red cap security and skirmish crew around to help out. You don't have to fend for yourself. We all know how sadistic Matt can be with the settings on the weather machine. Amen. Amen to that. That's a fantastic thing to say. Yeah, but I think experienced players as well, I'll throw into that. People help. Everybody helps. Best event
It's
for...
the thing.
Sorry, go on.
It's the thing about LARP. It's the thing about LARP is it's a very community orientated hobby.
Yeah.
We're in a field. We sort of separated ourselves off from the real world for a couple of days, but at the end of the day, things crop up, and people like to help. I mean, it goes from pushing cars out of the mud to making sure people are warm. I mean, if you've got a problem, ask. I'm going to say at least 70% of people's problems in a field can be solved, either there or then or within an hour or two. There's very few things that can't be solved or at least put off for a while. And simple things as we're talking about camping and stuff is you got nowhere to sleep because your tent's died or whatever. That can be resolved. I think when you said like people were put into the Hall of Worlds, that was a big storm. That was made into a shelter. I, for various reasons, was on my own in a 5 meter bell tent. I went and grabbed about 5 to 6 people and just threw them into my bell tent and said, "Just sleeping here in the woods."
Yeah.
Done.
Yeah. I mean, I think I'm in a 4 meter, and I think, well, no, it is only me in it, so I'm sure that if people are struggling and stuff, then and they can cope with my completely peaceful sleeping, because I don't make a sound ever while I sleep.
I don't make a sound. People have regularly told me that they'd like me to go to sleep before everyone else, just because I'm so peaceful and they don't want to disturb me.
Yeah, I have to admit, it's a reason why I tend to stay out later than everyone else. That they can all sleep first.
I have been told I was about to get to sleep, and then I heard Chris go to bed, and then I was up for another 2 hours.
Oh, quick tangent. We did what I was in the 2 feet camp, and everybody had gone to bed, and I just thought I'm going to stay up, have another beer. The fire's burning down, and Justin woke up, crawled out of his tent, puked everywhere, came and sat with me, had another beer, and then went off to bed. And I'll tell you what, that is one of the most peaceful, nicest conversations at that sort of time of day I have ever had at Empire. It was wonderful. It was really, really nice. But you can hear the snoring a mile away, though, from people. You can walk around that field, and it's just sort of like, okay, right, I know who's that snoring. I recognise that snoring. I recognise that snoring, and I recognise that snoring. But still, so Tyson said, best event for tent catching was Carnival of Carnage at Maelstrom. So many garage and party tents flew. The mayor camp estimating $5,000 of damage. Jesus.
The main camp, I missed. I was in Mayor, and near the end, and we were lucky. I think the Wellington Imperial Orcs, one of the guys there, he made tents. He just went, one of those get in the bin people, and he just went, I went on a tent making course, so I made some tents. And it was not small tents.
No. It was warm and sunny until it wasn't. It's such a common event, weather report. Yeah. Levalis.
I ran an event that Thursday.
Yeah.
We had set up, we had beautiful sunshine, everything. Friday morning, we did some more setup, beautiful sunshine. In a minute, we timed in snow. It was just, and that was the weekend. I was like charge of sight at that time, and I did not stop moving. I was building fires. I was checking the area. We had a tent on the top of this hill that died. I had to go up and rescue that, and I literally spent basically the next 48 hours with about 3 to 4 hours sleep, just running around the site, making sure tents were pegged in, and we had double army garage tents. One of them died. Oh, but yeah, and then literally as we go to take everything down, so
Yeah, I mean, you have it's about just checking on people, and it's about making sure you're aware of your surroundings and stuff like that at all times. Um, Lavalus, I don't know how to pronounce that. Lava Eolius, who knows? But they're number one. I've genuinely had a member of site crew drive me to the nearest hotel after the van to get me to the station broke down and my tent was too muddy to put back up. Yeah, I think there was an event where the tractors were going until like 1 o'clock in the morning to get everybody out. So people who were ready to go at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, they were still on site at midnight, just sat in the car waiting to be dragged out, essentially. So that's it's not good. Bring fluffy socks. Shout out for the Crocs. How far behind it? Oh yeah, there is sheep shit as well. Um, yeah, there is. It's just a case of don't eat it. Don't rub it in your face. It's be sensible about this sort of stuff. There's a lot of
rules
wood.
of hygiene. You're in a field.
Yeah,
Doesn't matter. I mean, the aggregate one of the old aggregates from Highguard, who has it written in the brief that they wash their hands a lot, was nearly always washing his hands. Like, if you touch the ground, if you touch something, go wash your hands. Now more than ever, but
yeah,
that was then. You're
yeah,
still in the field. Doesn't matter where you are. You're gonna have stuff like even like your leather kit and all that lot. I remember coming off battlefields and my hand would just be like brown from like just holding sweat and stuff.
mm,
Just go wash your hands and stuff like that. If it looks dubious, it probably is. Particularly if it's around a loo or in an area where, strangely, there's no tents there and
no,
it's not a pathway. Probably been avoided for a reason.
yeah. There's a lot of wood chip and a lot of random stuff left lying around from both tent stuff and from drunk people just dropping stuff. Yeah, there's a lot of that as well. Me and my mate were camping around Stonehenge and got bitten by a snake in the middle of the night when going for a leak. Not fun. No, no, that's not good at all. Tents are not dense enough to be a fire risk, at least. I think in some areas, I mean, Wintermark probably is.
I mean, ideally, you want 3 meters between each tent,
Yeah, we
but
don't get that in
it,
some areas.
you don't. Like, um, we've had a few fires at Empire.
Mm,
Um, the one I helped on was in Rushka. That was just bad. Like that was a camping stove, and basically was they had a faulty safety valve on it. You wouldn't know. It was generally no fault to anyone, and that blew off, and that set fire
mm,
to the tent with someone inside of it.
yeah.
Luckily, right around that tent and near it were 5 welders, two professional firefighters, and well prepared people who had a fire extinguisher. That was taken out and dealt with before um, PD even got on site, and we were right by God. And even then, the front of that tent was gone.
Mm,
Tents go up insanely quickly. And if you remember, I said something at the start. Well, near the start, scissors, lighters aren't scissors. That was done in a different system, a big system where I've helped out on the security side of things. Um, this person decided to had an alarmy attached to their tent, and it was right near the top of the tent. So they decided to cut it with their lighter. That tent went down, and if the people near there hadn't grabbed that tent and moved it to the open area as quickly as they could, that would have lit up. And that site wasn't as crowded as the PD field
yeah.
was. It's just tents will go up very quickly. You can't control it unless,
No.
and they will spread on that field.
Yeah. What's the best time to get water to fill up containers? I've got a 15 litre expandable container, but I really don't want to be that guy that takes forever filling up a container. You need it when you need it. If it's empty and you want to fill it up, go fill it up. If you're filling it up and someone comes along and says, I've only got like a little bottle to fill up, then just stop, let them fill up, and then go back to it. It's common decency. It's a sensible. It's being sensible again. But yeah, you need water. You need water. That's all there is to it. Stick some of those pocket warmer things in my sleeping bag when it gets cold. Yeah, I've got quite a few people who do that now. Hello, past Steve. Or, fuck you, John. What time do people tend to get there on the Thursday? Site opens at 12 on the Thursday. I'm planning on being there from then. I think me and Dan are actually getting there at 12, so we'll be completely set up and done by the 1, hopefully. In a nutshell, keep warm and dry.
I might be there a bit earlier, but
fuck you,
just
Steve.
because I'll probably get a lift with crew. But sneak my way in and get my tent up early.
Waking up to the smell of bacon while win. Yep. It's Mr. Max. How you doing, buddy? I find getting out of bed the hardest thing to do at LARP. Then I don't know what's FOMO. I've asked this before, and I have been told before, but I forget. Helen told me last time. FOMO, FOMO. I don't know. Someone tell me what that is.
Something to do with kids and being hip.
I can't think.
Fear
I
of
have been
missing
told. I keep saying this, I know, but it's a daft thing I found. Putting something between your air mattress and the floor stops it migrating around the tent. I've never heard myself snore, so don't believe everyone who says I do. Yeah.
We can record you snoring.
We'll find you. We will find you. Please remember, tents are not soundproof. I don't want to walk past it and hear questionable things from inside again. If people are in the mood to do a bit of that at an event, then that's up to them. It happens, and I think I've told the story before of we heard it stop, and they received a rather large and raucous round of applause from half of Navarre. It was really interesting, and I believe that the people inside went, "Thank you." So it was great.
I know. I know from a story I wasn't involved in, but some people were going for it, and so a lot of other people decided to get their camping chairs out and formed a circle around their tents and waited for the people to exit.
Wow.
Whereby they got an applause and well done, well done. So.
Wow. Ahoy! Hello, Abby. How you doing? How are you doing? Good to see you. Make sure you're comfortable first. Snoring be damned if you're comfortable in a car. That won't do. I'm going to be sleeping in my car, partly because of not wanting to inflict my snoring on too many other people. As long as you're comfy and happy and warm, that's all that matters at the end of the day. That's all I'd worry about.
With sleeping in cars, just remember condensation is a thing. One little thing I was told to do was crack open a window and just fill that gap with a towel or something like that, just to help with the moisture, because it will get quite humid in your car. I've slept a lot in my car. I probably am too old to do it now. My back complains, but certainly just be careful of the condensation. It will get quite damp in your car. Equally, in your sleeping bag, if it's freezing cold, I know it's cold, but don't cover your face up in the sleeping bag. You're breathing out moisture. You'll have a wet sleeping bag.
Yeah.
Put your nose and your mouth outside. You can cover up to like there.
Yeah. It's
don't
when I used to sleep in a maggot sleeping bag, or a mummy sleeping bag as people call them now. I used to do that and have it there, and that's literally like all of my face you will see is that. So, I'm aiming for 1:30. I've not told Daisy this yet. Wow, I'm sure she'll be ready. Very excited to go, stressed but excited. Yes, I think at the beginning everyone is in the same boat as you, Abby. I really wouldn't worry. You can quite often get the 5-litre water bottles from supermarkets for £1. If you can, it's worth grabbing, but 3 or 4 boomers. Fear of missing out. FOMO. Fear of missing out. There we go. Thank you, everybody.
We'll forget that next stream.
Yeah, of course I will. Yeah. Then you get Dave going, I'm 38. As if that's a big fucking statement, mate. I'm over here at 41.
You're
So,
38, are you?
sorry? What, Dave's
I'm
38?
34.
You're 34.
I'm 34, so I'm now the young person in the conversation.
Nito, fear of missing out. Thank you for educating an old man. So 12 o'clock. 12 o'clock arrival. Jomo, joy of missing out. Excellent. If people are going to do it,
they're just making up words now. I generally think they're just making them up.
Yeah, I think so. If people are going to do it, then good for them, but at least try to be a bit quiet.
Well, you know what they say about sex intense.
It's amazing. Sorry, what?
Fucking intense.
Fucking intense. Wow. Wow. Okie dokie. We're beanie to keep your head. Yeah, we're going to get back to this now. 10, you're so old. Old. You're not old, boom. Yeah. Fucking hell. So let's do a poll on do we ban Chris?
I would.
Jesus. Any thoughts on the new heavy armor rules? I quite like them. I've already bought Dreadnought. A lot of people consider it a wasted XP, but yeah, I've already done it.
It's cool. I mean, realistically, you're always going to run into the problem of we're LARPers, we're not soldiers, we're not warriors of the ancient past. We're not going to be wearing our armor the entire year.
Yeah.
It's accessibility. It's cool. And even the friggin' one, yeah. It's, at the end of the day, you're in the field looking fancy.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. If it's made from staplers or rivets. Looks good. It looks good.
Yeah. So getting back to camping and away from all this silly talk. How do you deal with the ground when when it's absolutely pissing down and you don't want your tent to flood? I think this is probably the best sort of conversation that we could have right now, considering it might rain, it might be quite heavy, it might not, it could be very dry, and we might be lucky. Who knows? But how do you deal? Because I mean, obviously with the bell tents, there you get the zip in and you get the sewn in sheets and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And you get the separate ones. But
so there's a couple of things you can do, and some things that I do anyway, even if it's going to be blistering sunny. Start mud, water. We make sure if we're on a hill, we face the entrance of our tent downhill. Because your entrance to your tent, no matter any tent it is going to be the one where water is going to come through. If it's facing downhill, the water's not going to get in that way. If you're on the flat, again, just look for any divots or whatever, trying to avoid them. Then you've got mats. We put out a load of doormats, cheap doormats. You buy them really cheaply. Throw them. We put them out inside and outside, so we're not traipsing mud in. We generally, I say we, people don't know what I'm talking about, me and my brother, so I am a twin, I use we a lot. We have zip-in tents, but if it's really heavy, think about where the water's going to come down from, and if you need to, either some sandbags or anything or something like that, just curl up the back of your tent. So if it's a zip-in or it's one of the lay-ons and then that completely free floating down sheets, raise up the back to allow water to come underneath. So let the water flow underneath your tent than through your tent.
Yeah.
And just remember, anything you put on the floor is going to get wet.
Yeah.
If you think like that, then it won't. Um,
Yeah.
and you have sewn in tent. Good luck.
I have where we've got our Hurst Hall, our camped, we're on a slope going down. We have put in sort of like used a shovel, and we've put in like little lines in the ground to sort of divert water away from the camp as well. That works quite nicely for us. With the ground sheet, you fold it up so the water can't go. Well, the only reason it will get wet inside the tent is if you leave the fuck's sake. Have you seen? I'm gonna have to read this comment out, and then I'll give Max a slap when I see him in the field. But yeah, so the only reason it'll get wet inside the tent is when you're going in and out, or if you leave the door open when it's pissing down with rain. So, so Max has said, if you plan on getting impaled in the field, make sure you have heavy protection. I
don't know what he's talking about.
No clue. No clue. I don't know what you mean by that. But where did the dad jokes come from, though, all of a sudden? It's like everyone's doing dad jokes.
It's fine, I'm not a dad, so my jokes are automatically not dad jokes. They're just bad taste.
Okay. So that means Max has got a child somewhere, then. Yeah, really bad dad jokes. Love them. Love a bit of a dad joke. Can we have the story of how Hurst Hall got a river, please? Yes. How do you know if a joke is a dad joke? Mainly because I laugh at it.
The dad will tell you.
True. My dad jokes are only matched by the dad dancing. That's awesome. Yes. If the tent is rocking, don't come a knocking. It's difficult to knock on a tent. It doesn't really make any sound. Then again, I do stand outside a tent and say knock knock. But yeah, the Hurst Hall River, it was really bad weather, and there's a drainage ditch that goes around the woods, and the pipe that was underneath this makeshift road can confirm. Max does dad dancing. We will do well together. I'm taking Max to Calavesi Dance Club. It goes along, and you have this little makeshift road that they put. Well, they basically was just mud with a pipe underneath it, and that got a huge log stuck in it. So it started to flood, and nothing. It was just a little trickle coming out the other side. It would have flooded probably half. Well, it would have flooded Hurst Hall probably up towards, and it would have just started building up. It would have gone all the way up the field. We're getting dad jokes in chat now. I'll read them out in a minute.
I'm not reading them, Steve. I
just read Pete's, and I try not to laugh. So they had that, and basically what we had to do was dig up this road, get the pipe out, empty it, put it all back in, reinforce it, and make it a little bit bigger. So hence we've now got Hurst Hall Bridge on the map. So we're right next to that. Did you know you can't run through a campsite, but you can ran, however, as it's past tense? On that note, I must to work. See you later, Pete.
Cheers, Pete. We love you. I think.
Me. Yeah, not sure about that one. Pete, slap for Pete as well.
Alex, Jay, whoever's near Pete,
slap
him.
Whoever's near him. Oh dear. But yeah, so I think it's worth having stuff like that. So Poundland, their £1 doormats are wonderful. I didn't have a brain fart about it this time. So I was chatting away to Daisy. I couldn't think of what a doormat was called.
I think I watched that one.
Yeah, who knows? But yeah, so they're well worth doing. Keep things clean, and then don't take your boots, take your footwear off when you go into your tent.
I've known people buy the mud um, scrapers
Mm,
and just set one out. They're a bit pricey because they're nearly all cast iron, but you can throw those about. Um, some people will have rules of take your boots off when you get into a tent. Can be a faff if you've got very complicated boots and armor setup, but
yeah.
um, yeah, I mean,
What a doormat is called? I call mine husband.
I read it at the same time as you.
I love that one. That's good. Talking of camping bits, Asda has 2 camping chairs for 14 quid. Yes, they do. Yeah, I've got 5 coming with me. So, gotta go. Thanks both. Don't worry, Beth. You have a good evening, my dears. Yeah, I've got 2 coming down from over from Bristol, and I've got 2 coming up with Pete, and I've got my big and comfy one. So
I feel like I shouldn't have gotten rid of a load of mine now. Like I've been going to like friends' camping things, and just because they're generic looking, I've just left them in a pile of chairs, and no one said they've gained an extra chair, and I've because I don't have room for them. So I'm down to 1 by doing that.
oh dear. Anyone that
You
knows
invite me
my
around for camping, you might gain an extra chair. I'm just saying.
yeah, always bring extra chairs. Anyone that knows my hubby will know I'm not being serious, but just in case, nope. Love you, honey. I spent a bit and got a fishing camp bed. It's the best thing I've ever bought. See, I can't get on with them. I don't really fit on camp beds. I'm a bit too broad. But I find that an airbed for me, I when it's
That,
pumped up anyway, not when it's fallen when I've popped it. But yeah, I
yeah,
sleep like a light on it. Sleep
I
like a
think
light,
that
mount like a light. Fucking hell.
that's a problem with the camp beds is they're made as a generic size unless you're going to spend the money on them. I mean,
Mm,
I had a friend who was, by his own admission, a very large individual, larger than probably a lot of people, and he managed to find a camp bed that he could sleep on, but that cost a fair bit of money. Yeah, I tend to curl up, and that means I wake up with an impression of a metal bar in my leg from the camp bed.
mm,
So I've recently bought a semi-inflated foam layer
yeah.
just to try and cushion that, and I throw down a load of sheepskins.
Mm.
Um, IKEA quite good for those.
Vinted. You can buy those fur blank rug things for 4 quid at the moment. I've seen loads of them on there. I was tempted.
Where's that
Um,
from?
Vinted.
Vinted.
Vinted, yeah,
Okay.
it's really good. I'm out of tent jokes. I'll have to go undercover now. I'm just going to stop reading what Max says.
I find that good advice in life, to be honest. Love you, Max.
Fishing ones are the best. If you have the space to transport them, a tie mattress. Bringing a metal garden chair, hoping with a blanket over it people won't mind. Not squeezing my trunk in a camping chair.
Any chair you want to bring, realistically, if you put a blanket or something over it, no one's going to care.
No.
Because I can guarantee you, 90% of the chairs in that field are going to be camping chairs with a blanket thrown over them.
Yeah, guaranteed. Slept on my first camp bed at ILARP the other week. It wasn't awful if you put a ton of blankets on the bottom. Yep. I finally sleep camping at a LARP with that thing. Oh, what, the tie mattress? I'll have to look what they are. Generic in all aspects, Dave. So I might have a mini throne this Empire. So, Hurst Hall, we have 2 thrones. Proper, full-size thrones set up. Oh, you found it in a skip. Jesus. We have bought the best type of tent this time around, raised off the floor, decently insulated and with a safe heater. Sadly, it's an Asda store. being a caravan. Yeah, see, people with the caravans there have got it right, I think. Yeah, Vinted is amazing. I was looking for LARP stuff the other day on Vinted, and I saw I think it was a dress. I saw a dress on there, and I thought, oh, you know who that would be good for? Turns out it would be good for the person selling it, called Abby. Yeah, of all the coincidences.
Steve, I think you should buy it and return it. To be honest,
buy it and complain. No, I can't do that. Too much camping chair. So, El Veldezzo. I'm late, but I'm here. Hello. I'm literally, funny enough, I was looking at the time and I was thinking, I'm literally about to end it. So, if I stream on Friday, we'll do a big community thing, and it'll be a bit of Gartic phone, and probably it'll just be like an hour and a half of me pissing myself laughing.
I was gonna say before you leave, Steve, I think you mentioned a while ago, 2 streams ago, put a channel of people helping. If you got say Daisy, if you want your tent, your leather was stuff repaired.
Yeah. What I will do is I'll create a channel in the Discord, and it will be literally marked up as E1, and I will pin people who can help. If someone says I can help with this, then I can pin that, all be in there, and then during the event, if something happens, then they can post into the Discord and into that channel in the Discord, just to see if anyone's about who can help as well. But I'd say always make God your first port of call. Well, bye then. Sorry, El Valdezzo. Very sorry about that.
Good. Also, I'm going to give you a very selfish top tip for everyone camping: is when you put your tents up, you buy your generic tent pegs. They're aluminium and they bend like anything. Invest in decent tent pegs because they will keep your tent up, whether that's wooden or rebar. But aluminium will bend as soon as you touch them with a hammer.
Get new tent pegs is a very good thing to have. Do you know anybody that makes rebar tent pegs by any chance, Chris?
Well, now that you mention it, I have got some tent pegs because I made a load for people who never bought any, so I'll have a bucket of tent pegs. GG gets the first 10 because they won them. I will also take a small cobbler's anvil, a hammer, and a jig I've made for the triangle fold tent pegs you get, so I can straighten them up. If you give me a massive thick tent peg that's made for a big giant PD monster tent, I might look at you and tell you to do one or go get a sledge, and then I'll give it a good go. But I'll be in Navarre.
How many are you bringing to E1?
I'll have a look at how many I've got due to the past. My workshop's been in a different country, so I've been very limited to get back to it. And when I have, it's been more to visit my family than make things. So I've got what I've got left over, but I've definitely got 30, 40, I think. So if you need any, and I collect tent pegs, I walk around and collect them. If your tent is falling down, you haven't got enough tent pegs for whatever reason, you've forgotten them, come find me in Navarre. I will give you tent pegs. I will make sure your tent is set up because I'm only taking one tent this event.
Yeah.
So I'm going to have spare anyway from what I normally bring. And these are all rebar and they're all... I'll put it this way, when we had Storm Kate, my friend's tent blew away. My pegs didn't. There were still bits of the tent attached to my pegs.
Excellent. Collecting tent pegs, I guess that still counts as a hobby. Yeah. Yes, Gibby, you can camp IC if you're not part of a group.
Yeah.
Storm's Intense have, fuck's sake, naughty backs. But still, yeah, I am going to end it. I need to end it there because I'm just looking at the time. So yeah, I hope this has helped with our many tangents. I mean, I think we've covered quite a lot actually, and I think it is a lot of stuff is just common sense. It's about being warm and being comfortable, and we've given you a way of not having your tent flood as well. So I think that's a good thing. Let's raid someone. Who have we got on? See, I want to raid someone who's LARP related. Pack a mallet for normal pegs and a lump hammer for Chris's pegs. Yes.
Yeah. Get a lump hammer.
Yeah.
I mean, I put one of my tent pegs through concrete before now. There was a shower of sparks and a spag blood crack.
So.
The Mini Ankarian, I think, is alive. Is alive at the moment.
Who is?
The Mini Ankarian.
Mini Ankarian. Yeah. We've also got Kaza Marie. She does a lot of LARP stuff as well. I haven't seen her do any LARP stuff on Twitch yet, though. I might see if I can get her on and chat to her about LARP at some point. That'd be cool. There's a guy who I watch who plays a lot of Football Manager, because obviously I'm a big football fan. Unfortunately, I'm a Portsmouth fan as well, and he's a Portsmouth fan. He's streaming at the moment, but yeah, I've LARP and Football Manager doesn't really mix. So let's go for let's go for Mini Arcana again then. Oh wait a minute, no, Recent Revelry. Where did that one come from? Did anybody recommend Recent Revelry?
No idea.
This guy Hefty Yeti, he does some LARP stuff, I think. Never heard of him. Sounds like a twat. Let's go. Let's do. Say the Recent Revelry. I'm not sure where that one has come from. Yeah, it might be quite recent. So let's go and raid them. Let's go and raid them because let's just raid people. Recent Revelry. They're playing Dungeons and Dragons online. Go say hi. Spread the love. Be nice and wholesome and everything. Do the thing. So there's that. And stuff. Yeah, that one will go in. Yeah. See, I love doing this. I love this whole raiding thing on Twitch. It's great. Really, I think it picks people up. It's quite nice. Yeah, go say hi. Go and spread the love. Go and spread the wholesomeness.